that can stay facing the way that we want. And we're just going to have a brief look at what I want to do with my arms when I'm doing knee elbow escape. So you jump on top like this. So this elbow here, just lift up a little bit. I want to make sure this elbow is just outside her hip bone, because if it's inside, she can use her hip to push my arm across the body and feed me into gift wrap. So this hand here is not so much pushing, because if I push there, it lightens my elbow and increases. So I'm more pulling on that hip like that than I am trying to push the hip away. I'm more connecting there and trying to make it harder. If I push there, I'm actually moving my elbow in the same direction she wants. So when I'm hooking like this, I really want to pull my elbow. So now she wants to use her hip to push my arm across. It's going to be hard. She can feel there's resistance there. This arm here, I'm not trying to tuck it as tight as I possibly can, because if I pull it in super tight, she can kneel on my arm and just trap my arm there. So what I want to do is use this arm here to guide or to trap that thigh bone there, like this. So whether she moves it inwards or outwards, wherever she's going to move it, I'll usually track it with my forearm there. That's what I'm after, right? Now, I like my toes active, so I'm going to bring my feet in so my toes are on the floor, and that helps push my knee under the foot a little bit. Her weight's on the leg now, so I need to put her hands on the floor. As her hands hit the floor, that's the time for me to bring my knee and elbow together. There. Once they touch, her leg's on the outside, so we'll turn around so you can see the feet a little bit. There. So from here, what I'm going to do, once they connect, is use this foot to pass it to my other foot. There. I step on it so I can control it, and I'm putting weight on it. It's not comfortable. I can't put that foot in the hole there. It won't reach. And if I do, it's going to lock my hips to her hips, which is not what I want at the moment. So now that I have this, it sets this foot free to be able to turn my hips and to move my body to there. That keeps this hole open. That's where I want to put my left foot, so that I have the option of going back to guard. If I don't do that, if this right foot sits on top and she hides that foot up her butt, I can't go back to guard because I haven't got that hole there. Right? So that's the importance of my right foot. My foot that's on the inside there is containing and controlling her leg, like that. Right? So then I can always put my foot in there, especially for people that want to go back to closed guard. Super important for beginners to be able to do that, to be able to shut fights down. Super important if you like Andrew and love closed guard, that this here is always an option. I can go through there, then I get through here, turn my hip out, and by turning my hip out, my foot comes out where the hip is, not where the knee is. So even if she's sticking her knee up my butt, there, my foot will come out because of the hip. Big lesson today, right, is that when the person's sitting beside you, like this, their hip is further away from you than their knee. So even if they're trying to keep their knee tight against your butt to contain your foot, it's not the knee that you're trying to evade. The space is here where the hip is. So we'll turn around so we can show it, jump on the other side, get like this. So my foot is trying to get out. So her knees touching my butt, like that, right? A lot of people try and push the knee away to make space where the foot is like that. But there's more space here. Her hip is further from my body than her knee. So all I need to do is move on my side a little bit and bring my foot out through the hip. And that's where the space is there. Yeah? Something a lot of people don't pay attention to, right? And then we've been through how to stay strong on the side, is that if I'm wanting to move my hips around, where this foot goes dictates where my hips can move. So if I'm underneath half guard, and even if I can reach over and grab their foot, it means that my hips are going to track inwards. So if I'm under half guard, and I grab their leg with my outside leg prematurely, it almost guarantees I'm going to be stuck under half guard because my foot is on the inside of near my center line. And it's hard to move your hips out from that point. Where my foot goes is where my hip can go. If I move my foot out, my hips can go out. If my foot goes in, my hips can go in. So if there's a sweep that I want to do, where I'm sweeping them this way, by bringing my foot over, it's going to allow my hips to turn this way and sweep that way. If I need to move my hips out and I need to turn to my left, then my foot going out is going to allow my hips to track that way. Yeah, so realizing that where my foot goes dictates the power and strength of my hips in the movement. Don't just grab their leg and half guard and then go, now I need to underhook, because you're going to rely entirely on your arm strength to be able to hip out properly, as opposed to using my inside foot to grab their foot and use my hips and my arm together, using my entire body to hip out and to be able to use the underhook. Cool.